I'm going to be headed over to my friend Adam Booth's machine shop today. He's a really, really nice guy. He's been helping me with all my motorcycle projects, all the special machining and welding that I need done. And he's going to help me to get the CR500 engine mounted into the CR250 frame. It's going to be a heck of a project, and we're going to try to get a lot of it done tonight, and hopefully we're going to bring it all home. So we'll see. Well, we're over here at Booth's Machine. We're having a work on the CR500 Street Racer project. As you can see, we've got the CR500 motor in the CR250 frame. We're going to be doing a little bit of welding down here to get the fronting mounting tabs on. Some of the things that Mr. Booth has helped me with has been the mounting of the GSXR triple trees into the CR250 frame. And that was a matter of pushing out the steering stem and putting a bushing on there, special spacer, to make it fit over the CR250 steering stem. But anyway, that worked out really, really good. So we got that set up in here, and we're going to get that motor pulled out of the frame because we got some tabs that we measured out for it. So we're going to get those welded on there in just a little bit. Alright, right now we're going to go ahead and grind off the rest of the old CR250 tab. Once we got that off, we're going to weld in the new mounting tabs. And there we go. Tabs are off. Nice and flat. And there she goes. Alright, we got our first tab down on in here. I'm going to have this sucker welded on in there. We're going to cut off the excess. We got one to fill in the other side, but because the engine case is sticking out a little bit over here, it's going to have a little notch cut out of it. So we're going to cut the notch out of the tab, then we're going to bolt it right in. But thankfully, these little 1/4-inch aluminum guys, they fit right on in there. Pretty cool, huh? Looking good. What do you think?
Not too bad.
This is Adam Booth of Booth Machine, Pensacola, Florida.
They're on a bit of an angle.
Angle's okay, as long as it's solid.
Tighten the bolts up tighter, it'll make it solid. We got the steering stabilizer, which we're working on here. So we got a little mounting tab that we're going to be welding on the frame, and that's going to go in there just like that, and the bolt's going to drop in from the top. The motor is mounted. We got two brand new tabs down below here holding in the 500 motor into the 250 frame. Up top here we got our Gixxer triple trees along with steering stabilizer. We got a welded tab in there to hold that all together, so that works wonderfully. Got everything all set up and ready to go, so we're going to be taking the frame home tonight, and then tomorrow we have to make sure that the rear swing arm, which is for a CR125, fits a CBR F3 rear wheel, along with the push drive that's impossible to fit in that swing arm. So there was a lot of machining that was done on that. We'll get into detail on that when we got that all apart tomorrow. All right, we've got the frame and the engine have come home tonight. Got to untuck this thing. It's fit into a Nissan 350Z. So I managed to put all this stuff into this little car, and somehow I managed to always get it to fit. So there it is here in the trunk. You've got the CR250 frame with a CR500 motor. All right, there it is, CR500 AF. Getting assembled. This is my street racer bike and not my dirt bike. The dirt bike rather will be worked on another time, but currently I'm trying to finish up the street racer project. There it is, 500 motor, CR250 frame, and Gixxer triple trees. We got the front end on. We got Gixxer front end on there. It's from a GSXR 600. I can't remember what year, 2006, 2007, 2008, somewhere in there. The front wheel's off a CBR F3. The front wheel discs are off a CBR 1100 XX Blackbird, and they've been drilled to custom fit the F3 wheel. The bolt holes are off by just a little tiny bit, but remarkably, the spacing and the offset on them was absolutely perfect. They line up perfect with the Gixxer calipers. The calipers will probably be put on this weekend, but everything is looking really, really good on this bike. Really, really good. Coincidentally, the front pin on the front stand right up in here happened to be exactly the same size on the CR250 steering stem as it is on my Ninja 250. So I didn't have to get a new pin for my front end. So that was really, really nice that all that worked out. But anyways, here we are, front wheel mounted, front end mounted, CR500 AF street racer with a Gixxer front end. I almost forgot I have a nice IMS high-capacity gas tank, which I managed to get to fit into the frame. It doesn't fit too well because it is a CR250 tank, and because the engine is so much taller under there, and the headstay is not quite on there yet, but it doesn't clear the headstay. So what I had to do was we had to heat it up with a heat gun and melt it a little bit. And it's still going to have to be melted in probably about another inch or so. This side is not clearing the engine either because the jug on there is just so big. It's just so big that it doesn't fit in here the same way as a 250 jug does. So I have to clearance this a little bit too. So I'm going to heat this up and we're going to press it in with a wooden dowel. I'm going to heat this up and push it down hopefully about another half an inch or so. But the tank almost fits down the way it belongs. I mean, it's really, really close. So it's almost where it needs to be. So I'm quite pleased with the ingenuity that's gone into this, all the people that have helped me with it. I have to thank my friend Adam Booth for all of his machine work. I have to thank my friends at D&D Cycles for all the parts that they've helped me out to get, the really hard to find salvage parts. And I have to thank my friend Growda1 for all the encouragement on YouTube. He's certainly gotten me going a long way and motivated me a lot with his own CR500 AF project. And had it not been for him, I probably wouldn't be putting up so many videos on YouTube because he was the first one to demand more. So thank you, Growda1. Well, I'm just so excited I can't stop working on it. I went and I dropped on the CR500 exhaust pipe, and surprisingly enough, it fit. Everything fit. It dropped right in there. It cleared the frame all the way around. I didn't think it would. It cleared on back here, not a problem. I'm going to have to come up with a solution for the mount down there, but that's not a big deal. I think the pipe's nice and clear. It should clear the air box. The muffler might need a little bit of work, but I'm not too worried about that because I was probably going to put a custom muffler on it anyway. But we dropped the rear subframe on. I threw the air box in there just to see what it looks like. Of course, you got the gas tank. I've got a set of handlebars sitting over here in the box. But I'm going to save the rest for later. I need a hot shower tonight. I have a great project to finish up for the weekend. So everybody stay tuned.